I'm sitting in one of my spots I come to really decompress after a very busy week. My week was very chaotic. I'm finally coming down after just a lot of things that have just been thrown my way, and um, I realized throughout the week how much peace having a, a steady mind, a full heart, and forgiveness for others and myself is just priceless. That peace that you have with just having a mind that is doing the right thing and that has clarity is precious. It's ironic, in the beginning of the week, my mom actually sent me a couple verses on peace, and I didn't realize how much I would need those verses at the end of the week, coming back around to read them, how much it has really restored my soul. And of course, coming to somewhere like this is it brings a lot of restoration, and it reminds me of how much God is in control and how He is the center of my peace. He's the center of my love and my life. And I constantly go back to Him. I constantly need to look up to the hills, because my help comes from Him. Not look down or not look at myself, but look up to Him, because He constantly is the thing that fills my cup. So today I'm going to just be reading to you guys those 4 verses, because I think it's a great reminder of why we must go to God for peace, and a reminder of why He is the Prince of Peace. And so I have 4 verses for you. The first being Psalms 94, verse 19. And that is, "In the multitudes of my anxieties within me, your comfort delights my soul." And that is so true. Even in the multitudes of everything that we go through, the distresses, the problems, God is our comfort and our strength, our refuge. He's the one that's supposed to pick all the pieces back together, the broken bits and pieces, and He molds us and He puts us back, right? He gives us the comfort, the peace that surpasses all understanding. I asked God for a story in the Bible today that reminded us of His peace, and how even in the midst of hardship, He can be there. And He brought me to Paul. When Paul was imprisoned, he was still writing the Bible. Paul was still writing the Bible while he was in chains. And if God can give him so much peace to do that, I mean, just think about how He can still be there for us while we are living freely, how He can still give us peace while we are living freely. So we ought to go to Him, right? Because He is going to give us that peace. The next one I would like to read, and these notes, these things are trying to fly away, is Exodus 14, verse 14. And that is, "The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace." The Lord is going to fight. He's going to go into battle for you. I had a friend just the other day tell me this exact verse, that she was getting so many different attacks that she didn't know how to handle. But then she realized that the Lord was fighting for her, because the attacks were being wiped out one after the next, one after the next, one after the next. And she didn't have to worry about it. He was handling it for her. And I think we ought to recognize when God is fighting our battles for us, and to give Him praise, give Him honor, give Him glory, because He is going to take care of things that we place at His feet. When we go to Him in prayer, it says to pray without ceasing, right? We ought to go to God in prayer and ask Him for help, because He's going to work everything out for our good, because He loves us. The next one I would love to go to is Luke 12, verse 22. "Then He said to His disciples, 'Therefore,'" this is Jesus' own words, "'therefore I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, nor about the body, what you will put on.'" So this is just saying ultimately to not worry about pretty much our lives, and how we go about just every day, just constantly being fearful or being anxious about the things that are to come or that already had passed, because God is going to take care of our needs. And this also reflects on the next one, that is also saying in Matthew 6, verse 34, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about its own things. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble." God is constantly calling us not to worry. So why do we worry so much? I understand that we're human, and it's just what we do, but why do we worry so much? So God gives us grace in our worry, but He also is our therapist. He reminds us that we ought to not worry about tomorrow, right? That we ultimately must not worry about even the things that come to life, that come to us day to day, because just like the grass that he clothes, right, so beautifully, right, just like all the flowers that he takes care of, God is going to take care of us. So these verses really do remind me of how much God is going to take care. He's going to fight my battles, that he calls me not to worry, and that he's going to take care of me, just like he takes care of the grass. The simple things, down to this little strand of grass he takes care of. He's going to take care of me. And I just want to remind you of that too, that he's going to take care of you, and that he loves you, and that he'll fight your battles for you, and that he'll restore your soul, right? That he'll take care of your anxieties, that he'll comfort you. But I hope those verses you can maybe write down, or even just remember them, bury them in your heart, right? Write them on your heart to keep you and restore you throughout the week. Just as, Paul also suffered, and the disciples were scared on the boat in the midst of the storm. God was with them, and he calmed the storm, and he took care of the things. He's going to calm the storms in our lives. We just have to trust him in the storm and praise him also in the midst of the storm.